Hello, I'm Kimber Rose, and these are more confessions from the vault. So, in my first blog slash vlog, I introduced arousal and its powerful journey to orgasm. And I referenced a book, Woman's Anatomy of Arousal by Sherry Winston. And in this particular excerpt, I'll break down the importance of the components of arousal and really how we can use these tools to enhance our sex lives. Who's ready to go on this journey? I sure am. So there are 4 pillars of arousal. And those 4 pillars are intention, breath, sound, and movement. Okay. And I will break down each of those for you in this particular video. So many people really think that sex is just a part of life, right? It's very natural. It's just part of being alive. And it is in so many ways, but it's also not something that comes naturally to all of us. You know, most of us really need to work on it. And in order to work on something, what do we need? We need to be properly educated. We need information. We need to know what the hell we're doing, okay? Because our parents sure as hell didn't teach us, mostly. Our school sure as hell didn't teach us. And are we really learning that much from our friends or Google? Google is not your friend when it comes to sex, okay? And porn is definitely not your friend. Just think of me like your conduit of information, your triage nurse, your sexual liaison, your sex coach, because that is who I am. I am Kimber Rose, your sex, love, and relationship coach. And so when you think about something in that respect, I want you to think Kimber Rose. I am your girl. There are 4 pillars of arousal that we really need to consider while we're on this pleasure journey. And the first of these is intention. So we all enter into some sort of relationship, whatever you want to call it, with some sort of intention, whether we realize it or not. And most of us have the intention of achieving orgasm or climax. Like, you know, let's just be honest, right? But do any of us really enter into sex with the intention of maybe creating safety and pleasure for our partner, or holding our partner in vulnerability, or just holding space for them, or having respect for maybe what they might have experienced in the past? So maybe not everything that I've done with a previous partner is going to work with this partner. Also, I think when you just come into a situation with the intention of achieving an orgasm, like, is that really where we want to enter into a sexual relationship? Like, selfishly, oh, I want to have an orgasm. I mean, not everybody is like that. I'm just kind of bringing out different points. I mean, a lot of people are very much pleasers, and that's wonderful too. And I also think that we should kind of look into what makes you such a pleaser. Is it a healthy pleaser, or is it a trauma response? But that's a whole nother vlog. But do we enter into sex with a healthy intention? You know, whether it's subconscious or not, we really need to take pause and create that intention that really brings forth the best of ourselves, right? Our energy, our positivity. You know, what can I bring to this situation, to this moment, to this place of intimacy? And so I really believe that there are 2 elements of intention, and they consist of consent and sexual accountability, okay? And now some of you might be doing this naturally already, and if you are, I applaud you. But if you are not, I hope that maybe you can take a piece of this away and start implementing. So with consent, do both of us or all of us, depending upon your sexual partner circle, do we consent to specific acts? Are we consenting to just kissing, external touching? Are we consenting to oral sex, penetrative vaginal sex, anal sex? What are we consenting to here? We all need to be in agreement. We both need to be in agreement. And then with sexual accountability, that's the second part of intention. Have we discussed our likes, our dislikes, our hard no's, our hell no's, our hell yeses? Have we discussed all of that? Because frankly, that can be sexy as hell as well. Have we discussed using protection? Are you on birth control? Have you had a vasectomy? Have you had your tubes tied? These are all very important parts of sexual accountability, okay? Like, I could literally get into a lengthy conversation about how I feel about safe sex, because in my book, there is no such thing as safe sex. There's safer sex, there is responsible sex, but there's really no such thing as safe sex. So I think that'll be another post. That'll be another vlog entry, because I think that you might find that very interesting. But all of these conversations are a very important part of intention and a healthy approach to sex. So, are you being intentional? All right. The second pillar of arousal is breath. I know you're like, I breathe all the time. What are you talking about? Yeah, of course you do. But are we using our breath in a way that we're able to move energy throughout our body? And are you being intentional with your breath? Okay, because here's intention weaves its way throughout the entire arousal process, that entire arousal journey. So you're going to hear these words intermingled throughout this entire vlog, okay? So did you know that increasing your breath can actually create a higher energy vibration state, and then decreasing your breath will actually create it'll slow down that energy state. It'll bring a lower energy vibration. So being intentional with your breath can really be the difference between having 0 orgasms or multiple orgasms. And who doesn't want the latter? I know I certainly do. So there's many different ways that we can control our breath to really get the desired effect. And I'll go into more detail about breath work in some upcoming blogs, but for now I really want to keep it simple and just bring awareness to the necessity of it as it relates to the arousal journey, okay? So I just really want to bring it up, put it in the forefront of your mind so that you're thinking about it the next time you're with your partner, okay? So for now, just practice that. Bring intention to your breath while you're in that arousal phase. So I want you to think about this while you're being intentional. Think about, are you holding your breath? Are you taking deep relaxating, is that a word? Relaxing breaths. I should cut that out, but I think I'm going to say fuck it and just leave it, because this is who I am. I am human and I make mistakes. So are you taking deep relaxation type of breaths? Are you panting? You know, we are moving energy with each breath that we take. Okay, so I want to give you a little visual. Some people are visual, some people are not. So I'm going to shoot my shot here. Close your eyes even and visualize this. So imagine as you inhale that you have the air coming into your nose, or if you're inhaling through your mouth, okay? And it's a collection of like this beautifully colored particles, okay? Imagine those particles traveling into your nose or mouth, up to the top of your head, down the back of your spine, and into the pelvic floor. And then as you exhale, those particles are traveling up from the pelvic floor, past your abdomen, past your heart, up into your throat, and exiting through your mouth. Can you visualize that? Can you visualize that down, up, and out? It's this loop, okay? And I can get into what that loop is called when we start talking about breath work in another blog. I am tongue twisted today. Okay. Anyways, that is energy. That loop of breathing and bringing awareness to where your breath is, okay? That's energy. So try it next time when you're with your partner. You know, just have fun with it. Pay attention to the increased sensations and awareness that it brings with that. I promise you'll thank me later. So the third pillar of arousal is sound. Ugh. Sound is a beautiful way to move energy in our bodies. Have you ever practiced yoga? And at the end, they invite you to do like ohms. Okay, so an ohm, so if you don't know what it is, I'll just do one for you. Try that while you're reading this or listening to this, because you will feel that vibration in your spine and you feel the energy movement of that vibration, okay? The word Om is defined by Hindu scripture as being the primordial sound of creation. Primordial sound of creation. Primordial sound of creation, okay. It's the original vibration of the universe. And from this first vibration, all other vibrations are able to manifest. I find that very profound. And if you had trouble listening to that the first time around, rewind and listen to it again. I have read it over and over and over, and it makes so much sense. So from this, I really want you to think about when we are with our sexual partner, how does sound come into play, right? Can you see why sound is important during that arousal journey? Sound creates a vibration of energy. Energy moves through our body, which creates pleasure, and pleasure leads to, you guessed it, orgasm. I encourage you to allow your body's natural sound to just release as you exhale. It can be so beautiful and so erotic, all right? Have you ever been with somebody that's just been dead silent? Like you have no idea what's feeling good, no idea what's feeling bad, no idea where they're at all in their pleasure journey, right? If they're so quiet, it just blows my mind how somebody can be so quiet. Now, maybe you're quiet because you're not feeling safe to be vulnerable with your sound, because this whole arousal journey really stems on you feeling safe with your partner. Think about, a sound could be reminiscent of a moan, a sigh, a good sigh. It could be like a quivering in like a hitched noise, or just a full-on scream. It could be really primal. But I encourage you to experiment with different levels of sound and find the vibration that seems the most ecstatic for your energy and to your loins. The fourth pillar of arousal is movement. Are you picking up the theme here? Breath creates and moves energy, and sound creates a vibration that gets translated into energy, and movement propels the energy. Arousal, in simple terms, is a state of energetic creation and flow. Boom! Mic drop. Hello. So although there's still way more to a woman's body that needs to be tended to in order to really create that ecstatic arousal, but I really think that you're getting the gist of what I'm trying to convey. So movement. What's movement? It could be like swaying side to side while you're in your partner's embrace. It could be grasping the sheets out of pleasure. It could be planting your feet on the bed and raising your hips, or tilting your pelvic floor back and forth, or up and down, or rocking your hips back and forth. Pulsing, any kind of movement. You could be flailing about. It's really, movement creates energy. So all of those movements, they direct energy to where you want it the most. And during sex, where do we really want that energy? We want it in the genital regions, right? So think about when your partner is maybe touching you, right? Maybe they're coming down here and they're coming around the side. What is your instant reaction? Like you raise up, right? Because you want to move that energy, because you want to move their touch to these areas. Think about when they start touching your inner thighs or your hips. You raise your hips. You want to come to meet their touch. You're directing their touch to the place that you want to be touched. That's directing energy to the movement in the areas that we want, okay? So arousal really is much more than just touching your partner, teasing, tantalizing. It's just a dance of energy and it's exchange of yin and yang, and that in and of itself will be a whole nother video. I'm Kimber Rose, and this has been Confessions from the Vault. Please feel free to subscribe and sign up for my blog, and then you'll never miss another bit of information again.